Hi class, today is Wednesday, May the 13th, and this was our last Zoom class meeting if you missed it, or if there was some of the information that you wanted to catch up on. The Zoom video didn't turn out, so I'm just going to do a summary of what we talked about in Zoom, which is our math lesson 14-6 and something about our book reports. All right, on page 833, this is what we talked about. It says, make a picture graph to show how many connecting cubes, counters, and ones cubes you have. Then answer, write A's, and solve a problem about your data. Well, here's the connecting cubes that we used in our Zoom meeting. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here are the counters that we used. 1, 2, 3. And here are the ones cubes that we used. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you put them on the picture graph, we decided to use a triangle because these shapes are all different. So we decided to use something totally different. So we used a triangle. So in this part of the book, it says each triangle equals one math tool. And you'll see that, and I'll show you this in a minute again, but let me show you what it looked like in your book. So this is what the page looks like in the book, and I drew the triangles for each math tool. I also drew them on this board for you. It has the math page, and it has how many tools were in each. So you'll see 6 connecting cubes, 3 counters, and 4 of the ones cubes. Now, we wrote 2 different problems for this. One is a subtraction problem, and one is an addition problem. And I'll move up close if you wanted to copy that down. How many counters and ones cubes are there in all? So first it was 3, and then the other one is 4. 3 plus 4 equals, well, that's too easy for me to tell you the answer. So I know you know the answer to that. And how many more counting cubes are there than counters? And that's a subtraction problem. So we use the number of counting cubes, which was 6, and subtract the number of counters, which is 6 minus 3. And so that's how you make up an addition problem and a subtraction problem using a graph and the data, which means the information on the graph. So that's the first page of that. And on the next 2 pages, page 834 and 835, you get to make up problems. So you have your information or your data on the chart or the table. The graphs right here have information. Here's an example of one question, and you go ahead and make up another question using the data and the words that are on the chart, and then write an equation and solve it. And on the next page, you have Rick's vegetable garden. You have, he has 8 tomatoes, beans goes up to 12, the peas goes up to 18, and the carrots goes up to, let's see, this line goes up to 10, and the corn goes up to, and you have to trace the line back over to 4. Write addition or subtraction problems for each of those. You have to just do 2 problems. Do 1 addition and 1 subtraction. Addition usually says how many are there in all, and a subtraction problem might say how many more than one or the other. So you can subtract. Or, as someone also said, he had 8 tomatoes and he ate 3, then how many would he have left? So that's an option as well. That's really easy. So go ahead and do that and you'll be finished. Tomorrow we'll do the review of chapter 14. And then on Friday, your end of the chapter quiz. And that's it. At the end of your book, you have some pages for practice to get you ready for the 3rd grade. And it's called Step Up to 3rd Grade. So I think you're ready. You've been really good students in the 2nd grade, so I think you're ready for 3rd grade. Now, one more thing. Since we mentioned this on our Zoom call, we also are writing book reports. So for the book reports are for these books. We had Tornado by Betsy Byers. That's the author's name right there. We had the Tina Ford book by Melissa Thompson. And that's the author right there. And we had the Nate the Great book. Nate the Great by Marjorie Wyman Sharmat. And she's the author. She has a really long name. So finish reading those books and then write your book report. Now this is the format of a regular book report. Sometimes we use worksheets in class, use a regular notebook paper. Write the title, the author, the setting, which is where it happened, the characters, and a summary, which is what happened in that story. And that's all for today. I'll see you next time. Bye.